Hello and welcome to BitBoy Crypto. I am your host, BitBoy. We make videos on this channel every single day. We would love for you to become part of our community. All you got to do, click the subscribe button. Keep in mind, we are giving away $500 in Bitcoin. We would love for you to enter the contest. Just like this video, comment on this video. You must be a subscriber to win. Check out the full details down below in the video description. But it's pretty easy, and besides, we think you'll want to be a subscriber anyways. Okay, so keep in mind, we're going to be looking at news today, but as always, nothing I say is financial advice. So the markets have taken quite a dip today. It has been a dive. Honestly, I was not anticipating this. However, we did say on our news video a couple days ago that the sideways action had probably come to the limit, and it was time where we were going to see a big move up or a big move down. Now, unfortunately, we have seen the move down, and it doesn't really show signs of stopping at this point. If we pull up the 7-day chart for Bitcoin here and look at what that is doing right now, then what we'll see is there really hasn't been any of a push back up. So we have this big candle where it went down, it dropped down, had a little bitty spike, and it's just continued, little spike, and it's gone back down again. So we're still currently falling. This is not... we haven't hit a bottom for this fall yet. A lot of people thought a lot of the support was at 7,800, but we've crashed through that. People are saying 7,400, and a lot of people are, getting quite bearish again, which I'm not really that concerned about because I do feel like everything that's going to happen with the markets in the near future is going to be based off of this ETF announcement, hopefully coming in August, which, depending on what time you're watching this video, it could already be August. So August 16th is the target date for the first possible announcement, or the first possible day for an announcement. So not sure if it will happen on that day or not, but that's why, I'm not really that concerned. And we'll talk about, let's talk about it now. Actually, no reason to wait. I found this on Reddit, and it was very interesting to me that this was a great point I thought that was made. The ETF is most likely already decided. Expect a lot of volatility before the actual release of the news as insiders react to the verdict. Now, this was posted about 11 to 12 hours ago when we had already kind of started moving down, but not to the extent where we're at right now. And, it's funny that this was posted and then now, again, we've been seeing that volatility downwards. Now, is the ETF fully decided? I believe, according to SEC insiders, they say that it is. So if it is going to be approved, could we be seeing right now some of the institutional money coming in and forcing the price down in order to accumulate one last time? Because we are entering the final capitulation, accumulation, whatever you want to call it, stage to where once we get that announcement with the ETF, we probably will never be at these levels again. So very interesting to think about. We probably will see some insider trading. There are some whales out there who have some really good connections. That's probably why they're whales. That are able to find out information about SEC announcements. They may be able to get leaked announcements. They say 2 days before the announcement actually occurs. So when we start seeing the markets go crazy up and down, whatever way it is, it could be an indication of what's going on with the ETF. And I think that actually what's more likely is if the ETF is going to be approved, that we're going to see the price go down because that institutional money is going to want to push it down in order to buy more. So that way when the ETF is approved, they'll be able to get massive profits. So, all right, back to the charts. Let's look at the biggest winners of the day. Binance coin is up a little bit. Obviously, I think that may be due to people tethering because it's on the way down. Not really sure. Odom, it's 96. I've actually never even heard of this one. It's first time appearance on our list here. And then Tether, and then everything else is down. So biggest losers of the day. Pundex is down 24%. This is a project I do believe in. I do like what they're doing. They're continuing to expand. So honestly, I think that's probably a pretty good spot maybe to jump in if you're looking for an entry point for something. Because I do believe long-term in Pundex, and when it takes a big dip like that, you can guarantee it's going to come back up a little bit of a correction as long as Bitcoin doesn't continue free-falling. So Polymath, if you don't know, Polymath was actually added onto Binance, or it won the vote, and it's going to go on Binance. They haven't actually added it yet, I do not believe. And that's why you saw this, where usually this would be a pump and dump. I guess you could kind of say it was a pump and dump basically people anticipating it was going on, and then once it was announced, dropping it. But we'll see a correction. That'll probably go back up about halfway. It won't go to where it was at the peak, but I don't think that, I think it will go back up a pretty considerable amount. So it's due for a good bounce. Mithril, Elf, VeChain, Arc, WanChain. We just got so many in that, really plus 10 percentage points down range. So, that's not good for the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance continuing to rise at 48.2%, as you can see. So, a lot of people are saying maybe 60% is where Bitcoin could get before we see the altcoins have their alt season. But, when things are down right now like they are, that really should be the last thing on our mind is thinking of alt season. Let's just get things stabilized again. So today in the news, we have the story from Tron. They finally have revealed their secret project after months of teasing us. And yes, it does involve BitTorrent. So if you didn't know, Justin Sun recently bought BitTorrent, and they're doing something called Project Atlas. Now, this is going to be a file sharing platform. You can kind of think of it similar to what BitTorrent does, and they're going to use BitTorrent within that project. But outside of Tron and BitTorrent, you could think of like what we've talked about Internext, we've talked about Storage, Siacoin. There's a lot of different projects that are doing file sharing on the blockchain in a decentralized manner. And that is basically what Tron is going to be using this for. So Justin Sun just recently had a talk where he talked about all those issues. Also today, another big story is that the Tron virtual machine beta version is out as of today. And the final version is supposed to be coming on August 30th. So a lot of news going on for Tron. I like Tron better than EOS. For some reason, I feel like they're connected at the hip because they both got a lot of hype. But in my opinion, I think Tron is the better project. So Ripple taps Bill Clinton to give keynote at upcoming conference. And if you don't know, this has become a meme on Twitter or on crypto Twitter where everybody is replacing Bill Clinton's face on the Ripple announcement and putting everyone from R. Kelly to the leader of Iran to Kim Jong-un, just whoever else you could imagine would be ridiculous to put on there. And so I was wondering, like, okay, well, obviously the Clintons will shill anything, right? Sorry if you're a Clinton fan. Economy was good when he was the president, but outside of that, we know the Clintons are very, very, very dirty. And not to get too political there, but I think everybody would probably agree they're straight up shillers. They're the original shillers, if you will. They blow any crypto shilling to bits, but now Bill Clinton is in crypto shilling. So he's going to speak at Ripple. And at first I was just thinking, like, this is a money grab for him. What's the point? Why would you want to have him here? But this article makes some good points about how basically Bill Clinton was the president with the signaling in of the internet. Really, when the internet was embraced, he was the one who was the president. I guess that would have been from 92 to 2000 when he was president. He did serve 2 terms, so I guess that is right. And during that time was when the internet was ushered in. As if you didn't know, his vice president, Al Gore, invented the internet. Anyways, I still think he sticks to that story to this very day. But, Bill Clinton does have some expertise in this area as the president when basically the whole world changed. Technology changed. Everything changed with the adoption of the internet. And so, he might actually have some good points on this. He might be someone interesting to listen to. I would be interested to hear what he's going to say. But Brad Garlinghouse was pushing this on Twitter, he was pushing it on Twitter, but is really pushing this as some kind of great big thing. And you have a former president. I mean, when it comes to people in the world, you don't get bigger than a U.S. president. They are probably, I would say, the most famous, most influential people in the entire world. And I don't believe aliens, so I would say in the entire, I don't believe in aliens at all. Don't judge me for it. I think we're the only ones here. So I would say he's one of the top 5 living people influentially in the world right now. I just think all presidents, Barack Obama fits in that same category. George W. Bush does as well. They have immense power and influence. That's why they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for these speeches. I'm sure he was, maybe even up to millions. So it will be interesting to see what he has to say on the topic. He is getting a little older. So it will also be interesting to see how that affects, talks that he gives and things like that. He's certainly not 1 foot in the grave yet, but, time has not been kind to Bill Clinton, as we know he's He's done some hard living. There's no question about it. So, all right, let's look at another story here. Northern Trust opens doors to cryptocurrency hedge funds as part of pervasive blockchain expansion. A lot of people believe this is a really huge story that's flying under the radar right now. Just to sum it up, I'll read it from the text. In addition to adding a number of new blockchain features for managing its private equity workflow, the company, which has almost $10.7 trillion in assets under custody and administration, has quietly opened its fund administration services to a select group of hedge fund betting on Bitcoin and Ethereum. These potentially groundbreaking projects amount to one of the most significant pushes into cryptocurrency and other assets encrypted on a blockchain by a traditional financial institution. So this is really big news, guys, when we have more institutional money. I mean, they manage $10.7 trillion. If you didn't know, that pales in comparison. We're not even at $1 trillion yet in crypto. And when you have access to that much money, and I feel like we're on verge of financial collapse all the way around, all across the world, that money is going to be looking for a smart investment, and cryptocurrency is that smart investment, in my opinion, and only my opinion only. But, I'm 100% sold out that this is the only place you want to be putting your money right now. The gains we're going to be seeing in the next few years are going to be incredible. Speaking of financial collapse, Kroger grocery unit to ban Visa credit cards. Now, this is not a blanket policy for all of Kroger. Kroger is actually, all across the country, not in every state, but, Kroger is the grocery store I actually grew up going to. I actually worked there. I was a bag boy, and now I'm a bag holder. So, back then I was getting tips, and now I'm getting gains. Except for today. There's no gains today. So, basically, Foods Co., a unit of Kroger, is now saying they're not going to accept Visa anymore due to the interchange rates and basically the fees that Visa is charging. As we know, credit cards are all a big scam. Now, they will continue to take debit cards with Visa logos, but they will no longer be taking Visa credit cards. And this basically spans over about 25 grocery stores, mostly in California. But hey, guys, this is a start. I'd love to see Visa fail. And you know what? I'm going to go on a big rant right here, totally unrelated to anything we've talked about, but something I want to put in your ear, which is, in America especially, and I can't speak for the other countries because I don't know what their debt situation is. Per person, I would argue probably America has the highest amount of individual debt per person in the world. Maybe not, but that's just a guess. We have student loan debt, your housing debt, your mortgage, your car payments, your credit cards, basically anything you can put on credit you can. And one interesting thing to think about is what will happen if Bitcoin does become the world currency, and I believe that it will, to all of the debt that's owed, because guess what? It's owed in US dollars. So what happens if the US dollar becomes worthless? Now, all of a sudden, all that debt is not worth anything. And then guess who wins? The people. And guess who loses? The giant companies that have been taking advantage of people for so many years, such as the student loan companies, such as the credit card companies. I have no pity for Visa. Yes, I do have pity for people that would lose jobs within Visa, because if they did collapse, you've got to figure they've got people from janitors all the way up to executives. And, you don't want to see people lose jobs. But I do think that the overall betterment of the world will come when we're able to get rid of a lot of these larger companies that are specifically in the financial sector. They do nothing but take advantage of us. And so that's one thing I was reading on Twitter. Someone said, I can't remember the tweet, don't know who it was, but about what's going to happen if the US dollar becomes worthless compared to Bitcoin. Even in 10 years, I know I can ride out my student loans that long. So you probably could too. Just put that in your ear there. But something interesting to start thinking about as we do move towards this economic revolution that we're in. So that's all I got today, guys. That is all the news. Thank you so much for watching. We got a live stream on Thursday with Crypto Stash. I'm going to be sharing that link on Twitter tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff going on, all kinds of live streams, all kinds of projects. We got interviews coming up. I'm trying to get Funfair on the show. You guys know I love Funfair. Hopefully that'll be coming up soon as well. So don't forget, become a member of the Bit Squad. Click the subscribe button. Until next time, BitBoy out.